He was supposed to break out in 2014. He was supposed to break out in 2015. And we're saying it again. Zach Ertz is going to break out in 2016. Mike Owens and Jeremy Burton are both here. I'm Adrian Fedke. Before we get started, Jeremy and I will be at Xfinity Live tonight. U.S. Soccer semifinals against Argentina. Going to be there with the PI crew, so make sure you stop by and say hi. So let's get into this thing. Zach Ertz. What are your thoughts on Zachary? Just, a little overview.
Well, Jeremy's rocking the Ertz jersey. I got my Ertz jersey here.
I got a polo shirt.
You're the only guy that's missing out. You got to, jump on the Ertz bandwagon here. But yeah, I think that we're all kind of waiting for Ertz to make that breakthrough. He's kind of been on the cusp. He's shown a lot of flashes of greatness, but then he's also had some games where he's kind of disappeared. And in order for him to be one of the elite tight ends in the league, he really has to step it up every single game. He can't take games off. So, last year was supposed to be the year when he really took off, but he kind of had that injury in the preseason. The sports hernia, had to get surgery. That kind of set him back a little bit. He wasn't the same in the beginning of the season, and it really took him until the very end of the season for him to start to get going again. So hopefully under the new system with Peterson, he'll really be able to fly this year.
I mean, we all love Zach. He's a great, smart Stanford man. He's a physical specimen. He's got all the tools you want in a tight end. I mean, yeah, we wanted to break out his rookie year, his second year, his third year. I mean, he's only been in the league a few years now, and maybe he was hindered by Chip Kelly. Who knows? But I think this is going to be a perfect fit. Doug Peterson loves his tight ends. He's going to move them around. You saw all the success that he had with Travis Kelce and KC. Like Mike said, he had that injury last year when we thought he'd break out, but shown flashes of, games where he's grabbing 15 balls for over 100 yards. I mean, he's definitely got the potential, there's no doubt. And he's still a young guy. He's in his prime. We definitely paid him like a top 5 tight end, so hopefully this is finally the year. Finally. Let's get it, Zach.
Come on, baby, make it hurt so good.
It is. How to do it.
Today. You knew that was coming. 450 yards of his 853 over the last 4 games last year. So he did come on late in the season. Got a little bit more snaps, got a little bit more playing time. So for this year, what is the biggest reason why you think he is going to break out?
Well, I think, besides the new system with Doug Peterson, because he really likes to use the tight ends. You look at our wide receivers. It's not too pretty right now. You got Jordan Matthews, who in any other system, he's probably a number 2 guy, but here he has to be the number 1. So really, Ertz is essentially going to be one of our top 2 targets as far as receiving goes. So I think that's why you can really expect big things from Ertz, because he's going to see so many touches throughout the season.
Yeah, I agree. I pretty much think he's going to be our focal point in the receiving game. He very well could have more receiving yards than Jordan Matthews. I mean, arguably it could happen, definitely. The way Doug Peterson runs his system, I definitely think that he's going to get a lot of looks. I mean, we just hope he meets his potential, because we're certainly paying him like it, and we need him on offense because, like Mike said, the wide receiving core is pretty thin.
Yeah, and another key thing here for this year, offensive line has gotten better. So we added Brandon Brooks. We got Isaac Seumalo in the draft. We signed Steven Wisniewski. So the offensive line's better, because if you remember 2 years ago, all the injuries we dealt with, Lane Johnson missed the first 4 games due to a suspension. Kelce was out for a lot of weeks with a sports hernia. Todd Harriman's missed like half the season. Evan Mathis missed like half the season. So 2014, he didn't see the field a lot because Selleck is the more adept blocker. So you look at the snap count, 49.96% of the snaps in 2014. He limited opportunities. Last year, 69.33% of the snaps. Chip Kelly decided to get rid of Evan Mathis, just flat out cut him. Harriman's didn't come back. So, again, that's taking snaps away from him because he's not that great of a blocker. Selleck is getting all the snaps. So this year, I think he's going to get like 85% of the snaps because I think the offensive line is good enough now that Peterson can have some confidence in him to play him out there a little bit more. So you look at some of the elite tight ends in the game. I got this little Trogs nugget of the day here. So the guys who actually started all 16 games last year, 3 guys I got for you. Travis Kelce, 92.12% of the snaps last year. Carolina's Greg Olsen, 95.92%. Dallas's Jason Witten, 99.13%. So you can see the difference there in snap counts. If he gets more opportunity to play, then shit, that yardage is going to go way up.
Yeah, you really bring up some great stats there. But really, the main thing with Ertz, I think what we want to see this year, it's not necessarily the numbers. I think the numbers are going to be there as far as the receiving yardage goes. But I think what we really need to see is an increase in his touchdowns. I think that's where he's kind of really struggled throughout his career here so far. I mean, he only has 9 touchdowns over 3 seasons with the Eagles. And he had his most as a rookie in 2013 when he had 4, and then 3 in 2014, and only 2 last year. So we really need to see him really pick up the numbers as far as receiving touchdowns go. I mean, you look at some of the top tight ends in the league, which he's being paid like now. A guy like Rob Gronkowski, I mean, last season, the guy's catching 11 touchdown passes. You look at Greg Olsen, 7, and then you look at a guy like Travis Kelce, which we talked about. He had 5. So that's really the main area where the Eagles need to see Ertz step up because this season, we've seen it the previous few seasons. The Eagles have really struggled in the red zone. So I think Ertz needs to be that guy that they can rely on in the red zone.
You guys really killed it with some of those points. Totally agree. I guess adding on to it, yeah, like Mike said, Chip was good inside the 20s, but then we get in the red zone and we struggle. Doug Peterson's going to run a methodical offense. I think, use the running game a lot, and hopefully we can finally capitalize on those red zone opportunities because that was a big struggle for us. Definitely he has to hit those touchdown passes. I mean, get more than 7 or 8, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing we've seen from Ertz, he's really good on that seam route and going up and getting the ball. Kind of to lament on Jeremy's point from earlier, if you've been reading my Adrian's Notebook post from Philly Influencer, you've been noticing, I've been grading Doug Peterson's play calling from last year. He called plays from week 7 on in the second half for Kansas City. And one of the things he does, not only does he move Travis Kelce around, he moves him literally all over the place. Halfback, tight end, slot, lines him out wide. I'm expecting to see a lot of that with Ertz this year. He runs a lot of different routes, too, with Kelce. So you'll get him in the tight end screen game. You'll get him down the seams. He'll be running some post patterns. So I'm expecting a pretty big year from Ertz as long as he gets the opportunity and the snaps, and I think he will because another thing that Peterson likes to implement is some 3 tight end sets. So you're going to get him out on the field. He's probably the best weapon you have right now. I mean, his offense stinks. So, I'm expecting some big things.
Yeah, and the other guy you talk about here when we talk about the tight ends is Jeremy's long-lost brother, Trey Burton. Trey Burton, he's going to be, he's going to be part of this offense this year because, like you're saying, Doug Peterson, he likes to use 3 tight ends, really put them all over the field. And, Trey Burton is a guy, he's probably the most versatile out of all 3 of the tight ends. He can do just about everything. And you'll probably even see Trey Burton, line up at fullback at certain points this season. So, you're really going to see these tight ends all over the field. I mean, and the ironic part is I think that this season we're going to see, the 3 tight end set that we were supposed to see when we had Chip Kelly here. And we're going to see it under Doug Peterson. It's just weird how it's all playing out. How, Chip Kelly never used it. I mean, it was well talked about, but it really never happened.
And I love me some Trey Burton. Yeah, if he gets a touchdown pass or two, I'm gonna go buck wild. That'd be great. But the key is what you want to do on offense is create matchup problems for the defense. So we got two pretty big weapons I think Doug's going to use a lot and create these matchup problems. Like Zach Ertz is one and Darren Sproles is the other. Adrian said, moving Zach Ertz all over the field on offense, that creates matchup problems. If you get a corner on him or something like that, that's a big time size advantage, and you get Zach the ball. You get like a linebacker on Darren Sproles, moving him around, moving to the slot, move him wherever. Matchup problems. These create opportunities. These move the chains. That's what Doug's, I think, is going to do. He's a smart guy. These are some exciting things we can look forward to on our offense because, we kind of don't have any stars on offense and we don't have a great quarterback. So these are things we got to do to succeed.
Yeah, we got to find ways to move the ball because we don't have any weapons. We have no wideouts besides Jordan Matthews. Jesus Christ. And talking about the matchup problems, with the cornerback. I remember some plays I've watched on tape. They'll have Kelsey lined out wide and run a post pattern, and he basically just boxes out the defender, and that's something that Kelsey can do. And then you put him on a linebacker, he's going to run right by him. So, exciting times for Zach Ertz should be. Let's talk about some of those other weapons then. I mean, because Sproles, just again watching the tape last year, Sharkandrick West, Spencer Ware, these are guys that are lined up at wide receiver as well. So they'll motion from the backfield, you'll get them out wide. The defense has to make a quick snap decision about how they want to cover these guys. So Sproles, you kind of move him around, and he can be a weapon as well.
Yeah, and really for this Eagles offense to succeed this year, I think that they're going to have to, be able to utilize guys like Sproles and Ertz to create those matchup problems because, they're really not going to get much offense from anywhere else on the team. So, they're going to have to rely on those, matchups, and hopefully Ertz can break out. And I really, last year, heading into the season on offense, the wild card was kind of Josh Huff. It was going to be, can this guy finally break out? And it's becoming quite obvious that he's a drowning duck and he's just about dead. His head is just above the surface. Barely breathing. So he's going to have to do a lot to get above the surface. But this year, really the big piece on offense is going to be Nelson Aguilar. Can he come back, bounce back from really a bust of a rookie season? The guy was a first-round pick. So he's really the guy this year that the Eagles need to step up on offense because, besides, guys like Ertz and Sproles, you really, and Jordan Matthews, you really don't have too much firepower.
And what gives me a lot of hope is what Doug was able to do with those guys when Charles went down, Spencer Ware and Sharkandrick West, who? And then they were really successful tandem, down the stretch and going into the playoffs. So it gives me confidence that Doug will be able to use our guys, Ryan Matthews, whenever he's on the field and healthy. Wendell Smallwood might come in and make some plays. You got Sproles, you got Varner. These are guys I think will be able to put in the right position to make plays, and we got a better offensive line. That's huge. Battles are won, games are won in the trenches there. So these are some things to get excited about because, like Mike said, there's not much in the wide receiver core. Nelson's under the microscope a little bit. Hufflepuff probably won't make the team, and I actually like Ruben Randall addition. I mean, he's got sure hands and he's definitely, I think, going to be starting on the outside.
Oh, I think Ruben Randall and Chris Gibbons are probably our two best weapons besides Jordan Matthews in the wide receiving corps. We'll see about Aguilar. I mean, he's obviously the big X factor. We kind of don't really know what we're going to get from him. A lot of people have already given up on him, even though it was only his rookie year. Hufflepuff, I think he's going to get cut, to be honest with you. I think he's gone. So fire up, Fire up the duck hunt, Mike.
Yeah, fire it up. We'll see if Chip Kelly, if Chip Kelly bites him, wants to take him there in San Fran. But just heading back to Ertz here real quick. I think in order for Ertz to make it the leap here, and if you really want to compare him to a guy like Travis Kelce, you go and you look at Travis Kelce, his game log here. And about every game last season, the guy's averaging about 5 catches a game. And I think that this season, that's kind of where Ertz needs to get to. He needs to be averaging, 5 to 7 catches a game. And last season with Ertz, especially in the beginning of the year, I mean, he was very inconsistent. I mean, there were sometimes games when he only caught one pass, and that's just not going to be acceptable for a guy that's making so much money now. So, in order for Ertz to get to the next level, I think that he has to get 5 to 7 catches a game. He has to average, about 50 to 70 yards, and then he's, got to increase his touchdown total because, about 2 or 3 touchdowns a season is not going to get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. And if my math is right, which it always is, 5 catches a game will put you at 80 grabs for the whole year, and that's a great season. If you can get 80 grabs, 1,000+ yards, 6, 7, 8 touchdowns. I mean, a touchdown every other game. If he gets 8, that's exactly what you want from your tight end. And I think our running backs are going to be successful with improved offensive line, and then just divvy up the yards for the wide receivers. I mean, that's just going to be a mixed bag. I don't think anyone's really going to stand out too much. I think the wealth is going to be spread out between the wide receivers and then spread the ball around a little bit. So, yeah, this just has to happen. These are the things we got to look forward to on offense. But we have that defense, fellas. We have that defense, and we have a guy in the middle that'll eat. He has money.
He got a long extension. Pun absolutely intended. All right, going back to Zachary, because the blocking has really kind of held him back a little bit. I've seen improvements in his run blocking. Last year he was pretty good in that area. Pass blocking has been a struggle. And the other point I wanted to make too, Kansas City last year it was a lot similar to kind of the offense we have now. They had no wide receivers besides Jeremy Maclin. It was DeAnthony Thomas. They had Albert Wilson. They had all these bums there. So that's why they utilized Kelce a lot. They force-fed him the ball, basically. And you utilize some of those other running backs. So when I'm watching the play calling, doing the series that I'm doing, we're going to see a lot of similar things here with the Eagles this season. Now, the question I have now, expectations for Ertz this season. Will he eclipse 1,000 yards receiving?
Oh, man. I think that he's going to get close. I don't think he's going to break it, though. I'm going to say he's going to be somewhere in that 900 to 1,000 range. And I'm going to predict that he's going to end up with 7 touchdowns. So that's my prediction for Ertz. I think that'll be close to 1,000. I don't think he'll be able to break it, though, because, I'm hoping that some of the other guys on the offense can step up. Guys like, Aguilar that we talked about, and, Jordan Matthews and Sproles. Hopefully they can lighten the load for Ertz a little bit. So, you really don't want to, see your tight end having to get that many receptions and that many yards. So, if he is getting over 1,000 yards, that means that nobody else is really doing much on offense. So I'm going to say that hopefully he's, just below 1,000.
I'll go with just slightly over 1,000. I'll give him 1,050, and I like the 7 touchdown number. I do. That's what I was going to say. That'd be a great year for him. Whether it's he gets 1,000 in 60 grabs, 80 grabs, whatever it is. I mean, that's a productive player right there. And you figure Sam Bradford's gonna, if he's healthy the whole year, which probably won't happen. We figure he's gonna throw for 3,500 yards. So the 2,500 yards, the rest of the yards will get divvied up between the running backs and the receivers.
Yeah, even if you look at Kelce last year, he was only at like 870 something, And it's because of how slow and methodical Peterson's offense is. So, as many receptions as he had, as involved as he was, he only had like 870-something yards receiving. But the reason why I'm going to give him over 1,000, I'm going to give him 1,001, is because Mike's point. Because our receivers stink. So I think he's going to get a lot of touches and a lot of opportunities. And I also made the point earlier. He only had like 69% of the snaps last year, 49% the year before. So I think that increases this year. I think he's going to see like 85 to 90% of the snaps. He's going to get more time on the field, so that'll translate in the yardage column because he had 853 yards last year, and he only played 69% of the snaps. So I think he'll get over 1,000. He'll just slightly, and so that's my prediction for him. 1,001. 1,001. Before we get out of here, John Dornbos is going to be on America's Got Talent tonight. Oh, I'm DVRing it. I can't wait to watch that tonight.
Oh yeah, the magic man. What is he doing? Is that just some magic trick?
Magic, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll have to DVR that too.
Yeah, and Ben Simmons is going to be on the Tonight Show, so it's a jam-packed night for Philly fans.
And he's going to be on the Sixers Thursday night.
Oh, yes, he will be. Yes, he will be. That doesn't make everybody happy in Philadelphia. Some think he's a bust.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it is. All right, final thoughts, because we're gonna make this a quick show. We got to get out of here. We're going to Xfinity Live.
Yeah. Final thoughts. If you guys are heading to Xfinity Live, just look for Adrian and Jeremy tonight. They'll be the guys with their shirts off, bare chested. Their bodies will be painted in red, white, and blue. Supporting the USA. And they'll be drinking a lot of beers probably because Messi will probably be lighting up the scoreboard on us. So, I'm not expecting much from the U.S. tonight. I'm going to say that we lose 3-1.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. But it's fun to cheat. I love playing FIFA. That's about the extent of my soccer knowledge. And I'm actually going to a Union game on Saturday. But
place Union up.
Soccer is fun. I love cheering on Team USA. Plus the women. I love Hope Solo. She's fine. And but no, the guys tonight. I mean, we just got to hope our defense plays well. Contain Messi as best as you can. I know he had an injury earlier this year a little bit. But I mean, he is such an X factor. He can come in for 20 minutes and score 3 goals. I mean, that's just what Messi does. Just hope for a low-scoring game. That's the only shot we got.
We're fucked. We got 3 guys out. Jermaine Jones is out. Alejandro Bedoya is out. Bobby Wood is out. DeAndre Yedlin is coming back tonight. But we are fucked. So we're gonna lose. And I'm hoping the reverse psychology will work out. So that's it for this show. Mike Owens, Jeremy Burton. I'm Adrian Fedke. Let us know in the comment section below. What do you think Zach Ertz is going to do this year? How many yards? Do you guys agree with us? Is he going to break out? We'll see. We're out of here. Later.
See you.